All right, let's get into our next discussion now. Nigeria's current economic troubles are directly linked to the petroleum sector. Since the crash of crude oil on the international market, Nigeria has struggled to keep up with its responsibilities to her citizens.
Neka Ozwadibe provides a graphical representation of the recently released unemployment figures.
The National Bureau of Statistics says the number of unemployed Nigerians rose from 11.19 million as at the end of the third quarter of 2016 to 11.55 million in the fourth quarter of 2016. In the period under review, unemployment rates rose from 13.9% in the third quarter of 2016 to 14.2% in the fourth quarter of the same year. The NBS report showed that unemployment was highest for persons in the labor force between the ages of 15 to 34, which represents the youth population in Nigeria. For those within the age bracket of 15 to 24, unemployment rose from 25% to 25.2%, while for the 25 to 34 age group, unemployment rate, according to the NBS, increased from 15 to 15.4%. The report also revealed that unemployment and underemployment were higher for women than men in the fourth quarter of 2016. While 16.3% of women in the labor force were unemployed, as at the end of the fourth quarter of 2016, only 12.3% of males were unemployed. Nigeria's economically active population, or working age population, increased from 108.03 million to 108.59 million, representing a 0.5% increase over the previous quarter. Some countries, as revealed in the report, even have higher unemployment rate figures when compared to Nigeria. Nations like Djibouti, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Congo, Haiti, Afghanistan all fall within this category, while countries like Qatar, Cambodia, Belarus, Benin, Thailand have really low unemployment rates.
Now,
If you look at those figures,
you almost want to feel like,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
It's not really that
It's
bad.
not really
but
as
then
bad,
again, you know, what is the basis of the National Bureau of Statistics figures that they come out with? Where's the data they actually use to have this kind of empirical evidence, like some would say, to come up with this figure, 14.2%. The feeling really is that it's actually more than that.
No, but the point there is, all of this are comparative ratios. You have to put them in relationship to those who are educated, those who are of whatever age bracket, and those who, you know, there's a lot of...
Do we have the accurate data? That is the question, so that you can actually come up with
There
this...
is certainly a hypothetical projection, which even if you don't get the one-for-one data correctly, but there's a hypothetical generalization that you can use as parameters for some of these
I hope
things.
these hypothetical figures will help us to actually reach. All right, we have joining us in the studio a productivity expert, Remy Dairo.
Yeah, Remy, Dairo, okay, Dairo, yeah. Well, Remy, good morning.
Good morning, bro. Good morning.
All right, now let's get into this now. We were just talking before we got on set. When it comes to the issue of unemployment, it seems he has almost come to stay in Nigeria. I remember in the 90s, I remember in the early 2000s, even in the 80s.
Even in the 70s.
Exactly. They've always been saying, in fact, it became a cliche when they say that it's a time bomb waiting to happen. We're sitting on the keg of gunpowder. But that gun has not gone off, or that bomb has not gone off all the while. But how bad are things out there, really?
Yeah, you know, we're talking about unemployment here. There's underemployment. That's one side. In the last, Bureau of Statistics came up with, some statistics, and they were able to show that the fourth quarter, Nigeria had, that was last year, 14.2 compared to the third quarter, which was at 13.9. That means it's increase. They don't even enter into this year, 2017 and all that. What I'm trying to say, the bottom line of unemployment is the kind of education. Education, we have to go to the root. stop cutting the tree from, you know, from the top. The root is our education is not a productive education, kind of education. You know, and we need to know when to shift. Now, when the whole system of education we are using started when the white men were going, and then we need to raise our own, you know, character to fix in all those areas and all that. So those days when we go to school, go to school so get a good job. Go to school, I mean, we need lawyers, we need more accountants, we need more doctors. So we are filling in those spaces. But immediately we are able to fill in those spaces, we didn't move on. We are still maintaining the old model. Therefore, we have many lawyers in town. So you could say then that
you could say then that Nigeria's problem may not necessarily be unemployment, but unemployability,
yeah.
And of course underemployment, which you know, could be that some people are maybe over. Is it a matter of being overqualified for a particular job?
Yes. It's one of those. So you come out, you are a lawyer, and then you found so many lawyers in town. And they say, I don't even mind. Let me just be a clerk.
Whatever.
Or I'm even looking for something to keep my body and soul together. So you see, those from the root, education system is not well positioned to give us the right crops of people that will be employed. So there's a gap. Okay, there's also what is called the skill gap. Those who are even graduated from the school, they've not even worked on themselves to be employable. So I learned chemistry in school, or I studied Yoruba in school, and I said, so I'm expecting one day I'm a graduate. And then your parents, wow, and they probably came for your graduation, celebration, eating of rice, the pleasantry, congratulations, your child is now a graduate. Then after that, nothing. Why? Because the child does not have the skill to be employable.
So in other words, going to school in Nigeria doesn't really prepare you for the real world.
I tell you, that is it.
You graduate from school only to find out that you don't even know anything about how
work, exactly.
Society should function.
So when you get to the workplace,
where do we now start from then?
So I'm just, number one is education. Number two is skills gap, which you as an individual need to go and find what exactly do I want to do? Which skill do I need to go and learn? And I say this again and again, that the artisans are more productive to the economy of the nation than graduates in this nation.
Say that again.
The artisan. Because, I mean, the artisan will, pick, organizers, the carpenter.
The handyman.
I tell you, handymen.
Wow.
They are informal sector, so to say. But the government is not even looking at that side. Oh, we are the graduates. Oh, the graduates. Oh, the corpers. Oh, the youth corps. And then these guys are fixing things. They are collecting 1,000 naira, 2,000. But some artisans are more, I mean, you know that. They have more money to spend, to play around, than a full-fledged master's graduate, so to say. Because we have shifted our focus away from from the artisan to the qualified education educators, as the case may be. So because of that, there's this gap there. So you see, they are keeping the economy alive. But the graduates are speaking grammar, and they're just all over the places with their certificate, and nothing is happening. All right,
let's narrow it down a little bit. We see from the graphics we had there, from the figures we had there earlier on our report, we saw that the rate of females not being employed are even higher than the males. Why do we have that kind of situation?
Right. I would also say that I don't know their statistics where they got that from, because I've seen many females being employed in more professional jobs these days. But then I just think that the society needs to be reorientated, and why they got that from is because of the northern part of the country. A large number of people there would not allow their wives to work. They do not allow their wife to do professional work because, of course, they work at home. So what I'm trying to say is the statistic came from the large, group from the north who would never allow their women or female to take some job because they don't want, that exposure for their, for the female child and all that. So which I think some people are working on already. So it's a cultural thing. But in this part of our world, in the southwest, southeast, south as the case may be, you see more women work. And I tell you, if you go to south, you see more women on bicycle, more women in the farm carrying their hoes and cutlasses working where their husbands are sleeping at home and all that. So
playing draft.
So I think it's a cultural thing. And then, so they come up with a final statistic because of the number. So probably we have more women who are not working, who are not doing professional job, because they are also doing something, probably plating hair or probably working in hairdressing salon, but they will not recognize them in the statistics. So you must be careful that they might be doing menial jobs, or they might be underemployed. They might also be graduates and say, okay, I'm not working for anybody. My husband wants to work.
And the job is not captured in the corporate
in the statistics.
But a more troubling figure is the youth population between 15 and 34 unemployed. Now, this is a real time bomb. What does that mean for the economy going forward?
I know that when we get to this point, we always point the fingers to the government, but because I know that this large number of people are also hearing me, the first thing I will tell the youth is get the new skill set for the new generation. And what do I mean by this? If you have studied any course in school and you are at home, go and learn the new work, the future of work. You can't learn coding. You can't learn the social media metrics. You can't learn things on programming. You can't learn things on the future of work and be unemployed. I have a cousin of mine who has been doing I'm sorry I'm mentioning this, be doing ICANN. Well, and then just looking for, okay, I'm an accountant. I said, we can't sit down. There are many accountants waiting on the road.
Chattered for that
for that matter. So it was advised to just go and learn programming, learn coding, the work of the future. Application, apps, and all that. So this guy went to do, website design, learning coding, learning program, and all that. He had 4 jobs waiting.
Look at that. And it's interesting you point that out, because research shows that there are a number of professions that may be phased out in another 10 to 15 years. They will no longer be needed.
There are jobs that will be available that our children in primary school, and they are not prepared for it. By 2040, there are jobs that will be available that is not happening now, but by that time, our children in primary school will not even fit in if we didn't teach them what they need to know now. You see what I'm talking about?
And
education.
Who will teach them?
Wow.
The curriculum is old.
Okay, now let's get into recently the federal government came up with a lot of social intervention where a lot of youths were, so to say, taken off the streets where monies are paid to them and so on. How does that really help when we're talking about reducing the rate of unemployment?
See, anytime you see, I'm not talking about any government now, anytime you see government pushing money to do, use this, use that, this person is doing this, most of the time it's PR. And PR cannot change the economy. It's all about noise and saying, we are doing this. You can't push money to decorate a tree. You go to the roots. You change the genes from the roots. I would say, a friend of mine went for an interview, went for such a program in Abuja, and they were giving seeds. So after doing the paparazzi of all the training, giving them seedling, giving them money to do they sold the beans, they sold the machine, pumping machine, they sold it there in Abuja.
Can you...
What I'm talking about? But they took picture. Oh wow, we just thought, some new youths now, they've learned out, fish feed, they've learned this, they've learned that. It was right there in front of the venue of the occasion that they were selling those things, selling the beans, the good seed they were giving, the machine, and everything that were given for the agricultural sector.
What do you think is responsible for that? And do you think that this Empower program that was launched, for example, last year, as part of ways to provide some 500,000 jobs for the unemployed youth, is it a non-starter?
That's what I said, that every government, you said this before, every government come with, and I said since 1970, they've been talking about unemployment, and we have this for it, and you said that we are on the same track. Why? Because the fundamental thing is not, it's not touched. So if you do Empower for this government, you will do another government will come with another one, and you'll be shocked that there will be increments in unemployment.
All right.
So I am not condemning the program, just saying that let us adjust,
change the
structure,
the
re-engineer.
That's my point.
All right, Remy Daro, productivity expert. This is where time permits us to go further. This is where we can end it right now, but we thank you for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Hope to have you here again.
Pleasure.